Hey everyone, Bob Kendall here. Just want to thank you all for watching my videos. If you do want to support the channel, go to www.kendallreport.com/wavetech. Sign up for our software. You get market grid on 165 individual stocks and indices. You also will get 16,500 buy and sell signals on our entire database. I thank you so much for supporting the channel. Those of you that already signed up, thank you so much. Welcome to the Kendall Report, where I share my 41 years of experience to help you manage your portfolios and protect your wealth. Remember to subscribe, like, and share these videos. Well, folks, this is the night before the weekly live stream on Wednesday, so I'm going to touch on a few elements that I will discuss in depth in tomorrow's live stream. If you can't make that, at least watch the replay of the live stream. One of the things that I believe is about to happen is we're going to see crude oil move to at least $91 to about $104. I've been discussing for a number of weeks that I believe this energy trade is still on. This is one of the things I will go into depth tomorrow because the energy stocks are just going crazy and there's still a lot left in these trades, and I'll go through that in detail in tomorrow's live stream. As we look at what happened yesterday, it was completely lackluster once again. We did see some selling come in to the S&P after early rally and then bounce back to close on change. The NASDAQ was up 0.3 and the Russell was up 1.1%. So we're starting to see that leadership that I've been talking about come back into play on the Russell. And I believe that's going to be a lot of what I will discuss tomorrow, as well as what stocks are likely to be participating in that rally. And it's going to be very robust, and most likely this will be the element that carries the markets into new all-time highs. The S&P is struggling here, but it's at least stabilized, and I think there's going to be some serious acceleration over the next 10 days. As we look to today, nothing really coming out today, some mortgage activity, a couple other minor reports, so there's really nothing there from an economic viewpoint. As I mentioned in Monday's video, the big elements will come out on Thursday. I'll go through that in tomorrow's live stream, as well as talk about that in tomorrow night's video. The other thing I'm going to be discussing on the live stream tomorrow is this Yellen proposed international tax, or the minimum tax on corporations. And the funny thing about this, which I'll unpack in detail tomorrow, is this is really kind of a redistribution tax. There's most of the companies that are going to be taxed in that international realm that they're proposing, at least so far, is about 60 to 70% all U.S. corporations. And it will ultimately be more or less a unilateral taxation system or a global taxation system. And I'll go through the impacts of that and what it means in tomorrow's live stream as well. But I do want to mention that so that you understand there's some very big things going on in the background. An old friend of mine used to always say, every time he thinks he figures out where the market is, they change the background on him. He thinks he knows where he is. He looks behind him, completely different place than he thought he was. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Going back to the energy situation, the Biden administration continues to shut down oil fields. Now it's the Anwar oil field in Alaska. That's being shut down. So they continue to choke off the production of energy here in the U.S. It's going to get very interesting as we go forward. There are going to be winners and losers out of this. So it's not all bad, but it's definitely going to jack up prices. So maybe get ready for $5 and $6 a gallon gas, especially if you're in California. I guess you folks watching in Europe will think that would be pretty cheap to get gas for that level. As we come into Wednesday, there's no real reports coming on. We didn't really see any activity in our database. It's really lackluster and very flat at this time. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the charts, see how they're set up for Wednesday's opening. We did see 429 new buy signals, 193 sell signals. We're at 63.83% bullish. We're really still maintaining that 62% level, My expectations are that we'll move up to 68 to 72 over the next several days, but it will take the S&P to move into an all-time new high to trigger that, and we're likely to see just that. There's really nothing else in the database to talk about. We are seeing the energy sector long for the last 7 days. It's already up 7% on a sector basis. As I mentioned in the open comments, I'll go through that in detail in Wednesday's live stream. As I review the S&P 500, we're down $1 overnight, very quiet, 33,000 contracts traded overnight, very narrow range. So far we've had a range of 42.21 to 42.29. We look at the market grid for today, S1 42.17, R2 is 42.43. I actually think we can print an R2 today. We'll have to print through R1, of course, to get there, but the expectation will be for an S1 R2 range for today. That would push the market up to an all-time new high if we were to print that level. As I look at the SPX, as I mentioned in yesterday's commentary, we did have a cycle low trigger today. If we do close above the R2 level today, 42.39, that will set the tone for a move up toward the 42.60 level, which will continue this new highs, and ultimately I believe we'll get to around 4,300 to 43.12. I'll go through all those details in the live stream tomorrow. Next market I'll cover is NASDAQ. NASDAQ is in a very narrow range overnight, 13,803 to 13,833. Very quiet. We're seeing just 16,000 contracts traded. The expectation here is for an S1 R2 as well. That would put us up to 13,915. The support at 13,762. And the 10-period moving average continues to be major support as well, which is just below, which is right at the S2 level. I do not see us trading below that level tomorrow. So look for an S1 R2 level. Next market that I'll cover is the crude oil. Crude oil continues to move higher. We're at 70.43. I mentioned in the opening comments I have expectations for a 91 to 104 level. I just want to bring this up briefly tonight. You can see the weekly acceleration as the PPMs are in all very robust trend levels across the board on the weekly and the intermediate trends. So this is going to dominate over the next couple of weeks. I'll go through all the details going into long-term expectations and all the key support levels in tomorrow's live stream. The final market that I'll cover tonight is gold. Gold continues to trade sideways. We did spike down to around 1852 a few days ago. We continue to be sandwiched between the 10 and 21 period moving averages. I discussed this a couple sessions ago. I continue to see substantial resistance between the 1901 and 1908 levels on the upside and major support between 1880 with the extreme down around that 1850 level. So we're definitely locked in a sideways range. There's no real trends here, but the longer term trends are very positive, which I'll also review in detail in the live stream tomorrow. So make sure you come to the live stream. This is where I will go through a lot of in-depth analysis tomorrow. So make sure if you can't come to the live stream to actually watch the replay tomorrow night. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on the live stream at 1:30 New York time. Hey folks, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell so you'll know when I do these videos.